Welcome to Daily Scripture Reading. I do not own the rights to this music. 2 Kings chapter 6. This is the Amplified Version. The axe head recovered. Now the sons of the prophet said to Elisha, "Look now, the place where we live near you is too small for us. Please let us go to the Jordan River, and let each man take from there a beam for the building, and let us make a place there for ourselves where we may live." And he answered, "Go." Then one said, "Please be willing to go with your servants." So he answered, "I shall go." So he went with them, and when they came to the Jordan, they cut down some of the trees. But it happened that as one was cutting down a beam, the axe head fell into the water, and he cried out and said, "Oh no, my master, it was borrowed." The man of God said, "Where did it fall?" When he showed him the place, Elisha cut off a stick and threw it in there and made the iron axe head float. He said, "Pick it up for yourself." So he reached out with his hand and took it. The Arameans plot to capture Elisha. Now the king of Aram, Syria, was making war against Israel, and he consulted with his servants, saying, "My camp shall be in such and such a place." The man of God sent word to the king of Israel, saying, "Be careful not to pass by this place, because the Arameans are pulling back to there." Then the king of Israel sent word to the place about which Elisha had warned him. So he guarded himself there repeatedly. Now the heart of the king of Aram, Syria, was enraged over this thing. He called his servants and said to them, "Will you not tell me which of us is helping the king of Israel?" One of his servants said, "None of us is helping him, my lord, O king. But Elisha, the prophet who is in Israel, tells the king of Israel the words that you speak in your bedroom." So he said, "Go and see where he is, so that I may send men and seize him." And he was told, "He is in Dothan." So he sent horses and chariots and a powerful army there. They came by night and surrounded the city. The servant of the man of God got up early and went out. And behold, there was an army with horses and chariots encircling the city. Elisha's servant said to him, "Oh no, my master, what are we to do?" Elisha answered, "Do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them." Then Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, please open his eyes that he may see." And the Lord opened the servant's eyes, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire surrounding Elisha. When the Arameans came down to him, Elisha prayed to the Lord and said, "Please strike this nation with blindness." And God struck them with blindness in accordance with Elisha's request. Then Elisha said to the Arameans, "This is not the way, nor is this the city. Follow me, and I will lead you to the man whom you are seeking." And he led them to Samaria. When they had come into Samaria, Elisha said, "Lord, open the eyes of these men, so that they may see." And the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw. Behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. When the king of Israel, Jehoram, saw them, he said to Elisha, "My father, shall I kill them? Shall I kill them?" Elisha answered, "You shall not kill them. Would you kill those you have taken captive with your sword and bow? Serve them bread and water, so that they may eat and drink and go back to their master, King Ben-Hadad." So the king prepared a great feast for them, and when they had eaten and drunk, he sent them away, and they went to their master. And the marauding bands of Aram did not come into the land of Israel again. The siege of Samaria, cannibalism. But it came about after this that Ben-Hadad, king of Aram, Syria, gathered his whole army together and went up and besieged Samaria. Now there was a great famine in Samaria, and they besieged it until a donkey's head was sold for 80 shekels of silver, and a fourth of a cab of dove's dung for 5 shekels of silver. As the king of Israel, Jehoram, was passing by on the city wall, a woman cried out to him, "Help, my lord, O king." He said, "If the Lord does not help you, From where shall I get you help? From the threshing floor or from the winepress?" And the king said to her, "What is the matter with you?" She answered, "This woman said to me, 'Give your son, so we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow.' So we cooked my son and ate him. The next day I said to her, 'Give your son, so that we may eat him.' But she had hidden her son." When the king heard the woman's words, he tore his clothes. Now he was still walking along on the wall, and the people looked at him, and he had on sackcloth underneath his royal robe, next to his skin. Then he said, "May God do so to me and more also, if the head of Elisha, the son of Shaphat, remains on him today." Now Elisha was sitting in his house, and the elders were sitting with him. And the king sent a man ahead of him to behead Elisha. But before the messenger arrived, Elisha told the elders, "Do you see how this son of Jezebel, a murderer, has sent a man to remove my head? Look, when the messenger comes, shut the door and hold it securely against him. Is not the sound of his master's feet just behind him?" While Elisha was still talking with them, the messenger came down to him, followed by the king. And the king said, "This evil situation is from the Lord. Why should I wait for help from the Lord any longer?" The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.